Hello. Welcome to the stream. It is I, your boy, the homie G, Freak of Sound here, bringing you some Pokemon Legends ZA shiny hunting shenanigans. Now, fun, let me, let me switch off a little plant cam real quick. So, funny thing, I actually just finished Mabel's research, like, not even a minute. Well, maybe a minute. I'd say like 2 minutes ago. But yeah, we finished the research. I hate, I hated the 1,000 battles. Not that I didn't, not that I hate it because here, let me switch. Let me switch to this. Not that I hate it because I managed to rack up basically 3 million Poké Dollars, almost 4 million. But it was just the fact that I had to do 1,000 battles in order to get the shiny, like, in order to complete part of Mabel's research. It was crazy. But we got the shiny charm. So, now what I'm going to try to do, there's really no specific, well, there are specific Pokemon that I want to shiny hunt. But what I kind of want to do is I want to do the same thing here that I was trying to do in Scarlet and Violet, where I want to try and shiny hunt the whole, or not the whole, as much of the Pokedex that I can. Because obviously there's gonna be like Yveltal, Xerneas, Zygarde. Well, Zygarde I'm trying to shiny hunt in Sword and Shield, but regardless, for the most part, there are some Pokemon that I'm not going to be able to really shiny hunt. But aside from those Pokemon, I do want to try and get as much of the, I'm going to call it the Kalos Pokedex. I'm not going to call it the Lumiose Pokedex. But as much as of the Kalos Pokedex, I guess I could call it the Lumiose Pokedex. Whatever. Regardless, I'm gonna try and get as much of this filled up as possible, and I want to try and do like a living dex. So I want to try and get multiple copies of said shinies, just so that way I can have evolutions, all that fun stuff. But I don't know really the best method for shiny hunting. Like, I know there's the bench reset. There's just resetting by, I think, flying to the wild zones over and over again. That kind of resets the spawns. But aside from that, I'm not entirely sure as to effective shiny hunting methods. Like, is the bench method good? I think what I'm ultimately going to try and do is I'm going to try and maybe I'll just go through each wild zone. Like, I'll just keep cycling through each wild zone, seeing what all I can find in terms of like shinies. The other hard part about this is going to be hoping that the shinies that we do find end up spawning within the wild zone, and they're not out in the rest of the city. Maybe I will try the bench method. I'll try doing that a couple of times. But if I'm gonna do that, I want to try, or maybe I'll do the fly reset method. But if I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do that with. I guess I could start with area 20. I think yes, there are benches in here. Okay. What is the most effective bench? Blood sugar. I guess it's this bench. I don't know, but I guess we'll do this for some time. I guess area 20 is a good place to start off with because if I want to try and do it as in order as I can, then starting with the starters would be the best way to go. I suppose. We actually did find our first shiny. I know you can probably see it here, but I actually found this guy as an Aeron in Wild Zone 14, I think. It was unintentional. I think I was trying to complete the Pokedex, the Mabel's research by yeah, we'll do this bench. This bench seems like I'd be able to hit the starters as well as whatever alphas. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. I was just trying to complete the Pokedex, Mabel's research, and trying to catch. I think it was either Steel or Rock type Pokemon, and I just ended up coming across them, and I was like, oh wait a minute, which is great because I had two other chances to find a shiny, or where a shiny Pokemon did spawn. And out. And that didn't happen. Or rather, I didn't end up finding them. Yellow. And I also got a new. Well, I didn't get. I had a monitor gifted to me. And it's a pretty freaking good one, too. Like, I was surprised. It feels like I have a whole. It feels like I have a big ass, just TV in my face. But apparently this monitor is good for like photo editing, video editing, all that fun videos. A big old Gorgeist. Am I doing this month? I don't think I am. I think this is meant to be more so an AFK shiny hunting method. Do. style. Predator or Gardevoir. Nice. I also would not mind any of the evolutions, especially since they spawn they spawn as alphas here in Area 20. Like, now if you give me Umbreon first. Oh, you know what? There's really something. Isn't it? Isn't there? Isn't it a new season of ranked? Or am I tripping? 10:26 to 11:05. Oh no, 2 days. 2 days. So that gives me enough. That gives me enough time to figure out what Pokemon I'm gonna bring into next season and train and all that fun jazz. That's a big Bulbasaur. And a big Crocodile. Good. Links. So okay. That is right. I could either keep using the benches or should I maybe run. Let's run around the wild zone. If we don't find anything. We don't hear anything, rather. We'll just keep on going. We'll fly to the wild zone then. I guess this is why it's more effective to use the bench. Do you have a shiny chestplate by chance? No, I don't. I just actively started trying to shiny hunt. What's up, Zach? Do. If I could get, honestly, any of the Pokemon here would be good. An alpha, I love an alpha. Do you have any duplicate shinies? Yeah, I only have 2. I only have 2 shinies. I wasn't actively trying to shiny hunt until now. Oh, would love it if one of those alphas was a shiny. I wonder what my first alpha shiny would be. Would end up being. As long as it's not Stunfisk, I'll be fine. Hello, Tapig. What an odd... Yeah, knowing me, I probably just jinxed myself, and I'm only gonna find shiny Stunfisk. I will suffer the curse of Ra. Hello, Malamar. Ow, what the fuck? Oh. Malamar's trying to kill me. Wants me dead. Tapig. Amanda. Hello. Hello, Squirter. Squirtle. I know what I said. I know what I said. I'm guilty. God damn. That's a big bitch. Let's see. Shinies I would want from the... Actually, no. I think I would want all shinies. All these Pokemon in this wild zone is a shiny. Bench is open. Now I wonder if the bench I guess they're both effective, but I guess the bench reset method is probably the more optimal method in this case, since it resets all the Pokemon within the wild zone. Like, there's the potential to encounter shiny Pokemon outside of the wild zone, but I don't know. I feel like there's going to be less of a risk. But that also requires me being able to see. I guess we'll know if we get off the bench and we hear the shiny sound, but we don't see anything. Crafty. Or Raichu. Alpha Raichu. Alpha Shiny Raichu would be cool to have. Especially for upcoming DLC when Raichu gets the 2 megas. I wonder if the shinies for the Mega Raichus will be vastly different from its regular. Like how Mega Gengar's shiny is completely different from from regular Gengar, which I think they should honestly, if they made Mega Gengar's shiny vastly different from the regular, then I think they should have redone Gengar's shiny sprite. That's honestly just me. I think there's in a alpha. Oh, shiny alpha. I was like, what the hell is it? Sure. I mean, I don't have any I don't have any shinies really in return. I only got 2. One more, please. Ow. Doobie doobie doo. Let's see. This will be the moment. I was about to say no. Ow. There's no way that I was getting locked in with a fucking Totodile. Garbodor, Scrafty. That's Scrafty? Yeah. Scraggy's the pre-evolution. One of these times I need to do a... One of these times I need to do a Pokemon quiz. See how many Pokemon I actually remember. Out of all 1,000. Over 1,000. A big ass skull, dude. Anyway. Delibird. Listen, I will be happy with realistically, if the alphas are something that I can use to or that I can mega evolve, that'd be great. But if not that, as long as like they're able to be used like in the ranked battles or anything like that, like yeah, that's gonna be those already got beef with Electro 2 Alpha Electros. Grid again. Now. Alright, let's do one more. Ow. Do one more cycle of bench resets, and if it doesn't work, then we'll do the fly reset method. Day cycle. That's a big Kangaskhan. What was I gonna say? I will what's gonna be interesting to see is when Pokemon Champions comes out. Um, it's gonna be very interesting to see like what these like how um I why can I not speak today? It's gonna be interesting to see what sort of stat changes Pokemon will end up going through. Uh especially since they're especially since I'm sure they're gonna have to redo some of the Mega Pokemon stats. Um but what sort of stat adjustments Pokemon go through, what abilities the new Mega Evolutions get, um, as well as alright, let's do the maybe I will keep just doing the bench reset because I feel like I'm running a big gamble with having something spawn outside. Excuse me. Is that it? No. The colors are just more vibrant now, so it looks like it just looks like a shiny Glaceon. Yeah, I think we'll stick to at least within this wild zone. We'll stick to bench resetting. Let's see. Let's see what we can get. Squirtle. Dragalge. Go. What was I gonna say? I know that's how I keep starting off my sentences. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I feel one of the other things with going through this game and just doing everything that I can, especially with getting like the Greninjite and all that stuff. I think that the online like ranked ZA Royale, I think it's a good start, but I do think that it could use a little bit of work, and I'm sure that this is probably just the for this is just one of those cases of they have an idea, they test it out with their new game, and then they sort of implement this feature into future Pokemon. So I think the ZA Royale, the online like 4-way battle, I don't think it's bad. I just think that it does have some stuff that could be worked on. And I don't think they'll work on it on this game. And if they do, then honestly, hey, that's pretty good. But I think that one of the things that makes the online battles feel not too great, like it's not bad, but it doesn't feel exciting. It just feels like something that you kind of have to do, especially if you want the Greninjite or Delphoxide or whatever we're choosing to call it. But I think that the I think the way that it's set up is that it's set up in a way to where it's like you can use, you know, non-mega evolution Pokemon. Hello, Togepi. Um, but I think you're gonna ultimately find it a little better, a more enjoyable experience if you do go through and you do use Mega Evolution Pokemon as opposed to regular non-megas. Or even like if you were to try and use the Pokemon that can Mega Evolve in a way where you don't Mega Evolve them. Like for example, Halucha. I don't have the Haluchite on it. I have it set up to where I have the I put a muscle band on it. Now, mind you, part of my problem is that I need to go through and actually give it the right EVs, change its nature, all that stuff, right? But even though I have it set up like that, like I get it, Halucha is a pretty, like, I guess, flimsy Pokemon on its own. So that's just something that I just should have expected. But I still wanted to give it a try anyway. But back to the main point. I used Halucha like that in the online ranked battles, and I used them here and there, but I didn't use them as often as I wanted to. Maybe if I put the Haluchite on him and took him in, then it would be a different situation. I mean, it is what it is. Like I used them when I felt like I could gain a slight advantage, but it felt like majority of the time you're just kind of sitting on the benches. And I think my other problem too is that I was just kind of going with what I wanted to go with, like in terms of move sets. Like I wanted to go with what I thought would be good on him, which I guess is not a bad thing, especially since this game had just come out at the time, and I guess everyone else was still getting used to what worked for Pokemon and what didn't work for Pokemon and all that stuff. 2 Alpha Garbodor. Now, one of these days, we're gonna be met with a shiny. Ow. But I feel like I feel like maps for the online battles are kind of small. And again, I'm going into this with the mindset of like this is kind of what they were doing to sort of test the waters, because it's there wasn't going to really be much point in, you know, making these grand maps or whatever for online battles and then people just not use it, right? It's kind of a double-edged sword where it's like it's just it's what I feel like, a double-edged sword, because on one hand, yeah, don't invest money into something that might not work or it might not play out how you would expect, and especially considering you have to keep in mind like your target audience is kids, and I get it, the average player 8, well, I can't even really say that, and I'll go into why. But apparently the average player age is 32. Which don't know how you're really getting those numbers. I guess when you set your birth date in the games or whatever the case may be, but I feel like if you're going off of like sales, Glaceon's always gonna throw me off. But I feel like if you're just going off of like sales and basing it off of that, then like that's not really all too accurate, because parents who have kids that they're getting this game for, but I don't know, there's probably something out there that, you know, we're pulling this statistic from that I just don't know. Like I'll be transparent in saying that, you know, I don't know specifics as to most things. Like I will admit when I don't know. But then aside from that, like it's just, you know, my thoughts, right? But what was I gonna say? Charmander can attack. For some reason, I felt like there was a starter Pokemon that would just run away from me. Not entirely sure why I felt that. Maybe Tapig? Bro, one of these days, I made sure to claim. Okay, I was about to say I made sure to claim the reward, right? I did that at the beginning of the stream, basically. I don't know what shiny Hippowdon looks like, if I'm being for real right now. Malamar, I know. Dragalge, I might know. Not entirely sure. Like Chikorita, Bulbasaur, like all the starters here, I'm pretty sure I know what their shinies look like. Alpha Tyranitar, Alpha Phalanx. Drafty. Actually, I don't think I know what Tapig shiny looks like. I know when it's Emboar, it turns into like this, like blue, and its flames are blue. It's got more of a blue and orange look to it rather than the red and orange and yellow and all that. Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. Malamar throws me off for a split second because I don't know, for a split second it's like the way that Malamar kind of looks during the nighttime. And it's like, wait a minute, are you shiny? It's just that split second look. The split second of looking at it. Do 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 do. But anyway, let's see. This year, no. Rose Raid, no. Rita. Amanda is so yeah, I think that once we again, it just feels like one of those situations where it's like once we get past once we get past the Switch 1 and needing to make games backwards compatible for Switch 1 as well, we're gonna enter this new era of now there's not really a whole lot of reason as to why we can't do this or that or whatever the case may be. Well, within reason. And that's why I'm glad this game took a little longer, I feel, to kind of release. Because they saw what happened with Scarlet and Violet, and they were just like, let's not make that same mistake. Chandelure in the daytime. That's crazy. Anyway, Glaceon, not a shiny. Charmander. Like, I guess the easiest place to go and hunt for Pokemon would be I forget the name of it, or which one it is. I think it's Wild Zone 10 or 11, actually. Wild Zone 8. I was wrong. But yeah, I feel like that's an easy one to sort of shiny hunt, because you're constantly having to run around and you're with constantly knocking out Pokemon and just having Drillburs and Gibbles reset and all that stuff. It's just like it feels like a good spot to do shiny hunting for Pokemon in there. I think the Sandile and Krokorok end up respawning as well. Any shiny. Oh, shiny. Helioptile. Or no, Heliolisk. That's the one. Regel. Alright. Time for another reset. Now, got anything? No. Tilting on green. Actually, I just realized out of all of these Pokemon, I don't need a shiny Aggron. I already have one. If it's an alpha, shiny alpha Aggron, I'll take that. But otherwise, like, I don't need it. I guess I'll catch them in case if I want to trade them to, like, my girlfriend or just in general. What's your other alpha? I will say, I don't. One of the things that I am so curious to, and like I don't want to look it up. I'm so curious as to Mega Scolipede shiny. Because I like Mega Scolipede. I think its design is pretty cool. And I would want to see what it looks like as a shiny. Oh. Alucha and Aegislash. Excuse me. Sorry. Where are the shinies? Where are the shinies? Let's see. What shinies am I curious as to their megas? Like the Pokemon that have any mega evolutions. I guess Mega Feraligatr. Mega Meganium, although I imagine that Mega Meganium's gonna be relatively similar to how normal Meganium looks. Mega Scrafty, Mega Drampa, honestly, Mega Zygarde. Malamar, I would imagine, looks relatively the same. Scolipede. Chandelure would probably look about the same. Little Squirtle. Ariado. Out on. Nope. Bulbasaur. Ugh. So glad the Pokemon look more vibrant in this game. Now all we just need, and this I guess more so applies to like the standard Pokemon battles or Pokemon games. I guess in this case Pokemon Champions. I'm just gonna say that with like the basic form of battling. Um, I think what we need now is the dynamic camera angles. Alright, that's something. I just saw something fly above me. Oh, we just need our dynamic camera angles for like standard battles and green alpha Alpha Glacian and Gyarados. I mean, what? I wonder what the distance is around here. Yeah, probably out actually. Let's see. We mark here, and over there is 120. So that means technically every time we loop around, we are respawning whatever is opposite us. Yep. No. Sorry, Flareon, don't hurt me. Ow. Flareon is hurting me. Uh-oh. Hi. I mean, technically, I feel like we could just keep running around. We could technically keep running around the Prism Tower and resetting Pokemon that way. Oh. Oh. Two of my favorites as alphas. If one of them would have been shiny, I would have. The problem is that I don't think, like, if you were to ask me which one out of those two I would want first, I don't think I could tell you, because it's like shiny Mega Metagross looks cool with the design and the shiny and the colors and all that stuff, right? But I could also argue the same thing about Gardevoir too, because Gardevoir just goes from Mega Evolving and having a white dress to a black dress, and it's honestly pretty sick. Oh no, there's. I don't want the elemental monkeys just yet. Not yet. Let me get a different. Let me get a different shiny first, and then, especially a different I guess now that I know the term Shalfa. Let me get a different Shalfa first, and then we'll be chilling. Ooh, Alpha Metachant. What an Alpha Roserade. Aggron. No, that wasn't a call to. I will say, I'll also say this too. Not that it matters too much now because I have all the Mega Stones and whatnot, but when I was going through and trying to get the Mega Shards to get all of the Mega Stones, I was doing that post game, so it made me realize that, like, man, I should have, like, I couldn't have known about it, right? I couldn't have known about it until, unless if I had looked up what ended up happening in the story. Um, but that's one of those cases where it's like I can't go back now and do that, but I wish I would have at least had the knowledge, so that way I could have waited until maybe I got all the Mega Stones, because the Prism Tower was actually a really good spot for collecting Mega Shards. Like, if I really wanted to back then, I would have just done like bench reset for the next day and then gone through and I would have gone through and reset just so that way I could go around and collect the Mega Shards. I mean, it is what it is. I still managed to do it. And honestly, Zygarde was actually really handy in collecting these Mega Shards. Especially since there is one alleyway, I can't remember where it is exactly, but there's one alleyway where there is just a ton of Mega Shards that spawn on the sides of the building, and it was so convenient to have Zygarde and just be able to be like, yeah, just use 1,000 arrows, and Zygarde would, and each of the arrows counted towards hitting the piles of the Mega Shards. So even if they were a little spread out, as long as they hit, the Mega Shards, it still worked. Okay. My eyesight kind of failed me for a second there because I looked and I was like, "Don't tell me that's a shiny Klefki." I don't need Klefki. I don't need him right now. I don't know why, but I like this is gonna be so out of nowhere. Not well, kind of out of nowhere. But I feel like Klefki was one of those Pokemon that I felt should have gotten maybe a Mega of sorts. Like, it's interesting that we got Drampa, a Gen 7 Pokemon, and Phalanx, a Gen 8 Pokemon. Like, we got them with Mega Evolutions. But what's the best way I'm thinking to try and say this? I guess it's a little interesting to see some post Gen 6 Pokemon get Mega Evolutions. Even though I don't think it was really too much. I think it was actually only 2. I don't remember actually. Like now, all of the new Mega Evolution Pokemon are just kind of slipping my brain. No, why don't we look? So let's see. Barbarical was was it Gen 6? I don't remember. Like, no. Frostlass. Crafty. Antelope. Balings. Grumpa. I don't know, I guess it really was only two. It was only two post Gen 6 Pokemon that got Mega Evolutions. I also have to remember that there is the possibility that we could get, like, I'm just going, like, this is just speculation, but I saw something where it was like it was saying something along the lines of like, we have more Mega Evolution Pokemon coming in the DLC, which honestly makes sense. It almost makes sense for them to, one, add more Mega Evolution Pokemon, especially since the name of the DLC is Mega Dimension. But two, it would also make sense for them to also add whatever Mega Evolutions that they don't have in the game right now. So trying to think. So the Hoenn starters, Diancie and Mewtwo are apparently coming as events, as mystery gift events. But either way, they're still not in the base game. So we have 5 so far. But I think aside from that, we actually have. Well, I guess if we want to go on technicality, then Kyogre and Primal Kyogre and Groudon, right? Because even though they're not classified as Mega Evolutions, like they are. Oh, and Mega Rayquaza too. That's also another one we don't have. But aside from that, I don't think there's any other Mega Evolution Pokemon that didn't make it in. Well, let's see. This. Alamar. That's gotta be a Shiny Glaceon. I've been so lied to. Damn, these vibrant Pokemon. Okay. I'm kidding. I love that they're vibrant. I love that they look like they have a little bit more life in them. Well, that Leafeon is glowing red. I am so out of here. They're doing the dirty work of getting me Mega Shards, though. Even though I don't need them. Well, I do and I don't. I do need them because I need to reset some Pokemon's EVs, but I don't need. I guess realistically, I don't need as many Mega Shards as I would have needed before, if that makes sense. Like, I guess the only thing that I can do is I can stock up on Mega Shards on the off chance that when the DLC comes out... Oh, granted, I can only get 9.99 of them, so... And we're still... I think, like, 3 months out from DLC. Because I saw somewhere that allegedly the DLC is set to release at the end of February. That's just my guess. That would also make sense. Because usually it's around the DLC territory that they finally add Pokemon Home support. So I can imagine that. I'm trying to remember what the length of time was between Legends Arceus getting releasing versus or to when it finally got Pokemon Home support. But I do think that the rumors of the Pokemon like Pokemon Home and not being able to transfer your Pokemon from ZA out of transfer your Pokemon out of ZA rather. I don't think that's really true. I know that people can sit there and say that, oh, it's from leaks and leaks and leaks and leaks and whatnot, but I just I don't know. I don't believe it. And I think I just don't believe it because it just doesn't make sense in my head. Like, all we can do, really, at this point is just wait and see. I don't know. I just... It feels like one of those things where it feels like a dumb move for them to... A dumb move for them to make it to where you can't transfer out of ZA. Especially with Pokemon Champions coming. I assume that Pokemon Champions is going to have a thing where it's like, you know, they're gonna take notice of when a trainer has an alpha Pokemon, and you know they're gonna want to show that, and if that's the case, then you know they want people to show off, you know, their alpha Pokemon, especially their Shalfas. Like, I don't know. It thinking that they would make it to where you can't transfer out of Pokemon Home or out of ZA, sorry. It seems too weird for them to do. Especially since there's been challenges for completing or transferring and completing Pokedexes of from certain games, right? Or not certain, but like specific games. Like there's a whole thing now where you can get the, I think it's a shiny Meloetta from from completing the Scarlet and Violet Pokedex by transferring all the Pokemon. I think it's shiny Meloetta. I'm not entirely certain, so don't quote me on that. Like I remember Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu, I think you get a shiny Melton or Melmetal. Sword and Shield. Sword and Shield I actually don't remember. I would love for one of these Pokemon to shine. I feel like everyone else in doing the AFK method has, you know, siphoned the sort of shiny look from the rest of the people, because I feel like I've seen clips of other people just pulling shinies left and right. And it's not that I'm necessarily complaining, it's just so funny. Hello, Dragelge. Alpha Hippowdon. Oh, shit. Yeah, I didn't know if I would still be in range of that hydro pump, so I was like, let me get the hell out of there. Oh, I was gonna look to see if there were any other Mega Pokemon that managed to not make it in. We do that now. Charizard, all the Kanto stars made in. Alakazam, Gengar, Kangaskhan. Yep. Mewtwo X and Y aren't in here. There were more, but I loop around for shinies first. To check for shinies, I should say. I guess the good thing is too is that since I have the sound that plays whenever a shiny is there, I don't have to worry too much about like looking around. Anyway, Ampharos, Scizor, Heracross, Houndoom, Tyranitar, Blaziken not in. Gardevoir, Mawile, Aggron, Medicham, Electric, Bayonet, Absol, Garchomp, Lucario, Abomasnow. Well, with the exception of Blaziken, they're all in. Beedrill, Pidgeot, Slowbro, Steelix, Sceptile, Swampert, no. That's 3. Sharpedo, Camerupt, Altaria, Glalie, Salamence, Metagross. Latios and Latios. So that's... I mean, technically... What, 6? 7? 7. 8 because of Rayquaza. Lopunny, Gallade, Audino, and then Diancie. So... Technically, we're missing only... Technically, we're only missing 9 megas in this game. But I can imagine that that with the Mega Dimension DLC, especially being I feel like that's where we're gonna get the Mega Legendaries. Especially because I feel like it's going to deal with going to... Okay, I saw speculation that apparently the premise of the Mega Dimension DLC, and this is all speculation, but allegedly the premise is that you are going to be able to go to two different dimensions. It's going to be like the X dimension and the Y dimension, something like that. And allegedly, it's going to be dealing with I think something along the lines of like a post-apocalyptic type situation. I guess where Lysander was able to fire off the ultimate weapon and all that fun jazz. I guess we get to see the aftermath of that. And then that's where we're gonna have like specific megas in each of those dimensions. I would honestly like to speculate that since Zygarde got a Mega Evolution, that Yveltal and Xerneas are also gonna get Megas. I don't know. It's just one of those weird feelings that I have. But I can imagine that if they're going to bring the rest of the Megas... Oh, we're technically missing 11 Megas, because if we're gonna be technical and count Primal Kyogre and Groudon as Megas, then we're missing 11. Which I only mention that because I feel like if that story plot is true about the DLC, then what I can imagine happening is we're gonna see certain Pokemon and being able to get their Mega Evolutions in one dimension, and then the opposite with the other dimension, right? And then what I feel like is it's going to be one of those situations of we're going to see Kyogre in one of the dimensions and Groudon in the other, and then once we get both of them, then we're going to be able to get Rayquaza and Mega Rayquaza. And yeah, I don't know. Alright, we have been going for almost an hour and a half and no shinies. Now this is crazy. The game knows. The game knows my intention. Like, no. You don't get one. You got your Aggron. We know you're trying to shiny hunt all the Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet. You're too greedy. Sit down, buddy. Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see what the DLC is like. especially since the DLCs for like Scarlet and Violet and I'll even say Sword and Shield as well. I feel like those like the DLCs for those games have been pretty good. They've been fairly lengthy. They have offered a bit of content to them. And so I feel as though the DLC for this game is going to be good. Like, I don't know. I've said it. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I think I don't really think there's really much of a reason for people to get so upset over Legends EA. I think like in some regards, yes. But I do think that this is just my opinion. So don't get offended at me or anything like that. Like I'm just speaking my thoughts and my opinions, but I honestly feel like the people who are like mad about certain issues of certain issues of this game aren't really considering the full picture as to what's being worked with and what needs to be taken into consideration. Because like I said, I think one of the biggest issues is this game, you know, despite the fact that I wouldn't have really paid attention too much to the like the windows, the railings, the balconies, all that stuff. Like I wouldn't have noticed that if I didn't have people on Twitter calling that out. I feel like otherwise I really wouldn't have noticed or really paid too much attention to it. But again, I think it's one of those things where it's just like, how can we make this game work in a way that doesn't turn the Switch 1 into a portable pipe bomb? That's, and again, that's just really my thoughts. I just feel like the people who are getting so upset over it are either people who have not played in a long time or really at all, or people who just want a reason to hate anything that Nintendo pushes out. Because I have seen, be it across Twitter, TikTok, whatever the case may be, like I have seen I have seen people be like, you know, I enjoy the game, but I do think that there are issues with it. I do think that there are some issues with it, but it doesn't take away from the sort of overall experience of it. And it's like, I can agree with that. But yeah, I mean, if you've played the game and you've been playing Pokemon for a long time, or you know this is your first experience and you don't like the game, that's fine. You don't have to like the game. But I feel like going into this mindset of already not liking something because of something that Nintendo has done otherwise. Or whatever the case may be. Like I think that's just a little silly. No. Speaking of silly. Ah, 2 more evolutions. Will I find a shiny? You know what? We're resetting right here. We're just going around. We're gonna go to all the benches. We're just gonna reset. We'll run a little bit, see what we get. If we don't hear anything, then we'll just reset on that bench. Is there a bench over here? There's not. Damn, so we really just gotta run around to next available bench. Is this like streamer shyness? Are the shinies not coming out because they know that I'm live? Please don't be scared. I just want to add you to my collection. Oh, shiny Mega Drag Ouch. That's also another I want to see shiny. Alpha Aggro. We got 2 benches within the same area, or the same span of space. That's okay. Lagron, no alpha shinies, no shalfas. I'm always gonna forget that I can just call them shalfas because it's not something that I was used to calling them off the top of my head. So time to reset. I'll have to try and get my my other Pro controller. It's not, I forget what it is. It's like the Zen Pro or something like that. Gotta try and see about getting that to connect with the Switch 2. Aside from that, I don't really have a like Pro controller where I can set up a macro to kind of do AFK shiny hunting. Not even sure that I would really want to do AFK shiny hunting. Maybe for like some of the other wild zones, sure, but I don't know. Like I don't frown on the people who do it that way, because honestly, like, hey, it's your experience. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. I'm not here to complain. You know, we're all here to have fun. We're all here to have fun with the game in our own way, and that's all we can do, really. You know? Let's see. Jolteon and Gyarados. This is gonna be one of those situations where it's gonna be the shiny hunting is gonna be fine in the beginning. Um, because it's like I don't have a lot of these. I don't have a lot of these Pokemon as shinies. But then once I start to get closer and closer and closer to completing a shiny dex, then it's gonna be one of those situations of like, okay, I found this shiny already, and I found them like 20, 25 times. Like, please, I don't need you anymore. And I do know that at some, I want to say probably within the next like month, maybe less than that. I do think that we will return to doing the shiny hunting, the shiny decks on Scarlet and Violet. You know, I'm having a lot of fun with this game, and I want to do as much as I can. So shiny hunting, or sorry, getting a full shiny deck right now. And then waiting for the DLC to get whatever other shiny Pokemon are going to be appearing there. Hello, Darkstar. Welcome. Welcome back. Well, welcome to this stream, but welcome back in general. How we doing? Do. I don't even remember what I got for reaching rank E. If I'm being so honest. It's a Pokeball of sorts, isn't it? Alpha stable. Right. Sport ball. Should have that. My sport ball. What the hell? My sport ball. I accidentally used them? I might have accidentally used them. Whoopsies! Alpha Fable and Billion. One of these times I'll get a shiny. Victory Bell. Scrappy, Garbodor, Alpha Charmander. That would have been cool to have as a shiny, even though I kind of despise Charizard. Alpha Squirtle. Oh wait, bench reset. Bench reset. Yeah, bench reset. How you doing, myself? I'm okay. Just finished up Brock's team for my ROM hack. Finally done editing stats moves. I'm doing okay. I haven't really done much today since it's only 12:07. But and I'm just here trying to get at least one at least one shiny Pokemon. Um before I end up having to go into work. Dude. I love a shiny alpha Pokemon. But at this point, I think I'm just gonna be happy with whatever I can get. Cause it ain't looking too hot for finding these shiny Pokemon, and we've been at it for just over a little over an hour and a half. Ow. Oosh. And we got a new monitor too. It was gifted, but it's a pretty dang good monitor. Heliolisk and Diggersby. Crafty. Hippowdon. Oreo. Malamar. Honestly, as far as Pokemon that I would like to get shiny first in this zone, I'd be really okay with Malamar. I'd be really okay with Malamar. Let's see. Gardevoir. Any alpha Pokemon that spawn in the middle that aren't the elemental monkeys. At least to start off with. Or I guess rather I should say any of the alpha Pokemon that can spawn in the middle that can Mega Evolve. I'd be okay with that. Scrafty. I think any of the starter Pokemon. And Garbodor, Tepig, Charmander. Let's see. Here eels. Give me. Bro, we better start. Let's start tweaking out. Ugh. Gonna start tweaking. Electro. Well, I'm gonna be so upset if I'm not going to, because I'm gonna hold out and be stubborn for a chance to get a shiny in this wild zone, but it would be crazy if I flew to a different wild zone and then suddenly it was just shiny Pokemon galore. Ba-bum, 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 bum, 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 bum. Great Gardevoir, Hippowdon, Crafty Aggron. Oh, one of these days. One of these days. It's like Fred Durst once said, it's just one of those days. And that's it. Nothing else. Archon. Alright. I think the harder Pokemon to find are gonna be like the ones where only one spawns. So like the Kalos starters, the Kalos starters. I think Absol only spawns once. Like there's only one that spawns. And then aside from that, it's gonna be like all of the Pokemon that don't necessarily spawn in the that don't spawn in the wild zones. So I think like Trubbish, Noibat, Inkay, Lefky, Litwick, something else I'm forgetting. Beep, beep, beep. Crocodile. Crocodile would have been. It'd been fun to have. But it's okay. Oh god, Crocodile. No! I don't want you right now, buddy. Bro's gonna jump me. Bro saw me and he said, I want you. That was honestly kind of funny. Where ill? Jeez, I would love to not go fucking 2.5 hours or 3 hours or whatever without a shiny. Without a new shiny. Clearly the Pokemon are intimidated by the shiny Aggron that I have in my party. Ow. That's why I haven't gotten any other spawns. Clearly. Oh, the Aggron's level 100 too. Over here. We're gonna get Electros to, well, whenever we do decide to go back for battles and level up. Gonna get Exadrill and all these other these 3 steel types. We're gonna get to the level 100. What's with me and steel types? Don't know. Call me Steven Stone, I guess. Oh, but it would have been so amazing if you showed up as a shiny. It would have been so awesome. It would have been so cool. So awesome. It would be so cool. It's cold. So glad that dog didn't show up as a shiny, because I probably would have thrown rocks. Sorry. Malamar, Totodile, Lefky, Pavilion. Anyway. Let's see this. Whoa. That Malamar wants me dead. Sorry. I shouldn't be yawning like this, because if I'm already yawning like this now, then I'm only gonna be exhausted at work. Get me on that bench. I'm waiting for that one time where I just go over and it's like, oh look, you know that Pokemon you couldn't see before? Here it is, and here's an added bonus. Aggron. Uh-oh. Oh, he want me dead. Oh god, he want me dead for real. Help! Ugh. Your teeth. That's me. A shiny. A shalfa. Something. Just a shiny in general. Oh my god. Bye. Oh god, that Garbodor is flailing and wailing at me. Ooh. Do, 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 do. Eh. Ooh. Time to do a lap around. No shinies. Feel like I could do that in a Smash announcer voice. No shiny. Ah! Oh. Oh my god. Anyway. Alpha Totodile. Ah. Billion. Aggro won't be dead. I guess this is the quickest and fastest way that I can go around. I just... I want something to show up, please. Please. Gorgeous. Yeah. Mm-mm-mm. Owlings, Ontario. Man. Anyway. I should probably go and get myself some drink because I feel my mouth getting dry. Bum 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 bum. What if I just start going in reverse? Yeah, that's a problem. Now that I started going in reverse, It's gonna be so weird. It's gonna be weird, honestly, because I've just been so used to just going, well, I guess I was going counterclockwise. Whereas now I'm going clockwise. Excuse me. Alright. Heebie-deebie-deebie, heebie-deebie-deebie. Rampa. Armory. Squirtle. Malamar. Ow. Ugh. There's a shiny. And I caught it. Ooh. Cool, cool, cool. Alright. Finally, we got one. We finally got one. Jesus. And it was actually one of the ones that was like, if I end up getting this first, I'm gonna be, I'll be okay. So, all right, got one shiny. Let's see, can we make it 2? What time is it? 12:30. Okay. So we got like an hour left of streaming. So I'm hoping. I mean, it took me basically 2 hours to get one shiny. I'm hoping we're a little luckier now. You know, now that we've gotten one, we should hopefully be able to get another one, because, you know, now we've broken the seal. We popped the cherry of the shiny virginity on stream, rather. So, to clarify. So, now that we've broken that on stream, we should be able to find Big Chikorita. Now we should be able to find more. I wonder if I just keep running around. I guess I can't exactly reset the alphas in the center, but I could, in theory, just keep resetting the Pokemon that spawn here, right? Maybe. Would like to think so, but I might not be wrong. No, because there was an Alpha Gardevoir here. And then, no, that spawned during the day. I don't know. I I'm... Brain is lost. So... Ow. The Charmander now is managing to fool me because... Oh, look, another Alpha Gardevoir. We'll just run laps around. I should honestly, though, test the theory of the Pokemon resetting in the loop cycle. Not so much in the center, but Gardevoir. So that Gardevoir should still be on or by that bench by the time we get back around. Let's see. So we could, in theory, just keep running. We could, in theory, just keep running around the circle and just hoping for something shiny to spawn. But I think also part of the excitement is also in resetting the alphas in the center and seeing what we can manage to get there. But I think I'll just limit it to going on one bench for the reset instead of going between the two. That way we don't waste as much time. We'll just use this bench here. Excuse me. Should probably charge my phone. This is a bunch. Vaporeon and Carbink. Oh, Vaporeon, not so much. Carbink. Let's see. Next Pokemon I would want shiny. Maybe Gardevoir. Maybe Gardevoir, maybe Scrafty. I say Scrafty just for the sake of seeing what its shiny mega looks like. What's here now? Barbador, Armory. Other than that, we ain't got shit. Well, at the very least, we manage one shiny. Even though I would have wanted more, if we don't end up with any more shinies by the time we reach 130, then that's fine. I would even say 125 just so that way I can yap and wrap up before ending stream, because I know I waste not that I waste, but I take a few minutes with that. But it'll also give me a chance to reiterate some things that I had talked about on Wednesday when I streamed. Those rate alphas. Alpha's in the center. Now, even though we got the shiny Malamar, if we can also get a shiny Alpha Malamar, Almamar, Alphamar. No, that one doesn't. It does, but it also doesn't. Sounds too similar to one of my friends. Shiny Alpha. Oh. Big Scolipede, though. Honestly, I'll be happy, or I won't complain too much if we just end with a shiny Malamar. But I think if we can manage to get either one, maybe two of the starters as a shiny, or we get at least one alpha shiny, I think I'll be all set, all good. It would be a-okay. Alpha Aggron and Heracross. Gardevoir. Chikorita. Dragout. Oh yeah, that's right. I don't really have to. Is that a oh, yes! Oh! Oh no. Oh no. I will not use the Master Ball on it. Okay. There we go. Oh, I got so scared. Cool. So we got a shiny starter. Maybe not the one that I was intending for, but I didn't specify, so shiny Charmander is okay. Shiny. Alright. Now, got Chikorita. Malamar. Like, I know that I don't have to actively be, looking around, because if I get... Well, I guess I do in a way, because I've realized that the shiny sound doesn't proc unless if you're, like, close to them. It seems. So, I have to kind of keep my eye out for them still. The Tyranitar and Halucha, which are not a shiny. But, got two shinies now. Got two shinies on stream. Honestly, an Alpha Halucha would be baller. If I got a shiny Alpha Halucha, I probably would be using the Mega Stone with that one. That's kind of a crazy, a crazy prediction on my part. Not a prediction, That was crazy foreshadowing on my part, rather. Hey, we got 2 shinies. Pretty good. I should probably clear out my boxes a little more just to just to sort of make room. Millipede, Rose Raid, God of War just got atomized. The God of War, Dragelge. Mario, Charmander, oh. Scrafty. Rest until nighttime. Technically speaking, because I've noticed that every time I've gone to the bench, whatever has appeared around me has despawned. So couldn't I technically skip the whole cycling through the day and night and just reset that way? Would it work like that? I might be wrong. But I feel like that logic would work. I mean, let's see. I mean, I guess we could test it with the alpha Pokemon in the center there, because it doesn't. Okay. So I do have to cycle through. I guess that's sort of that would make a lot of sense. Ugh. The hell? Bulbasaur, there's Mandalore. Crafty. Simisear. Or Malamar. I thought I saw a little twinkle around the Simisear for a second, so I was about to be like, no way, bro. Yeah. No way. Might have to use the bathroom room. But we shall see. Rita, Ariado, Armory, Whitehall, Almar. Hey, if we're if we're listening now, and we're getting these foreshadows, I would like it if I got a shiny Chikorita or a shiny Alpha in the center before we end the stream, please. You know, if the game gods are watching from above. Stunfisk and Raichu. Well, I'm glad it didn't decide to come true this time around, because if it would have been Stunfisk, I would have probably screamed a little bit. Got Charmander. The card, yes, I'm about you. Honestly, if we got another Charmander, I wouldn't be too mad at that. Just because, well, two reasons really. One, because I feel like instead of needing 3 shiny Charmanders, I would need 4. Just because Charmander, Charmeleon, and then 2 Charizards, one for Charizard X and one for Charizard Y. Because I'm pretty sure that depending on which ones you decide to, which Mega you decide to run, there's a different moveset for both of them. Powdon. Charmander. Garbodor. Okay. Maybe I should clarify something about the whole Charmander, or the, I guess, sort of Charizard hate that I sort of give off. It's not that I necessarily hate Charmander or Charizard like that. Like, I don't hate the Pokemon specifically. I hate how over popularized it is, or I guess overused. I don't know the exact term that I would necessarily use for it, but I just don't like all the attention that it gets in each of, like, the Pokemon games. I guess with the exception being, well, I don't remember Sun and Moon, but I know, like, Scarlet and Violet. Actually, I'm pretty sure it was one of, if not the first 7-star Terror Raid event. I'm pretty sure it was, because I think it was the Terra Dark Charizard raid that was the first to debut as an event in Scarlet and Violet. Been wrong. Time to reset. Alright, let's see. Ariados. Do I remember what Heliolisk shiny looks like? Or I don't think it. Scraggy or Garbodor, please. Or not Scraggy, Scrafty. Or Garbodor, please. Not Aggron. Aggron. Angoro. Burfro. Totodile. Fragilge. My apology. Gabador. Gabador. We don't need no Gabador. We're gonna sit here and we're gonna rest until the morning. Oh, my legs. Little leggies. Anyway. Let's see. Civilian. Drageld. Alpha Drageld. Do. A pig. Charmander. Garbodor. And it looks like we are resetting until the nighttime. Yeehaw. Gengar. Drageld. Bulbasaur. Totodile. Drageld, Malamar. Charmander. Ah. 12:55. Got a little over half an hour. 35 minutes, actually. Aggro. Madagross. Andalore. Rose Raid. Drageld. Malamar. I get a little nervous running through there, if I'm being completely honest, because I'm like, I could run into another just regular Malamar. Regular shiny Malamar, rather. Specific. And I don't want that. I really don't. Alright, let me do this. Let me run this lap around. We do that and we get ready to do the bench reset. Well, rather, before I do the bench reset, I will quickly use the bathroom. And then we'll come back and we'll just kind of speed through this. Haven't found anything, so alright, get this ready. Yes, I will be right back. Crocodile. And Electros. Ooh, a shiny Rose Rain. I said get in the ball. Thank you. I don't want to fight them because I don't want to risk knocking them out and then losing them. I know the technique then should be, oh, just, I almost said just shave. Just save before encountering them, but like, so we have 3 shinies now? That's funny, all it took was a little pee break. A little pee break and getting myself something to put in my system for right now. But that means that we technically, well, I gotta see how many. Sorry, that was loud, I know. We technically have 1, 2, technically have 3 shinies out of this Wild Zone. Hello, Gardevoir. Rose Raid. I don't know what that floor just. Okay. Where am I going? Well, even though we haven't found any alphas yet, the fact that we found three shinies, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. Nothing. Yeah. Ding 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 ding. Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, not cool, but okay. um. I wish I remember what shiny Tapeg looks like. Like, remember what the Kanto starters look like shiny. I know Johto starters for the most part. Yeah, no, I do know the Johto starters. The Hoenn starters, I remember their shinies. The Sinnoh starters. Sinnoh starters, I think I remember. I remember Piplup and Turtwig, but I don't know if I remember Chimchars off the top of my head. Unova, I know Snivy and Oshawotts, but Tapigs is just slipping my mind. Kalos, I remember. Alola. Yes, Alola I remember. Galar I remember, and then Paldea I remember. Yeah. So the only ones that I'm the only ones that I really don't remember too much are, I mean, realistically, the fire starters for both Unova and Sinnoh. But aside from that, I remember everything else. But I think that's because with everything else, I've at least shiny hunted them at least once. I've either shiny hunted them at least once, or I've seen their shiny at least once. I remember. Well, Chimchars I have seen once, but for some reason I can't remember. And I think that's the other problem too, is that rather, I've seen Emboars shiny, but I don't think I've ever really seen Tapeg shiny. That would have been a great moment for you to show up shiny there, sir. Also, now that I think about it, it would be better for me to sort of wrap up and all that fun jazz at 125 instead of 130, because I just remembered a whole bunch of, well, not a whole bunch of stuff, but a few things that I have to mention. Mm-mm. Oh, something I just remembered now. I didn't see, so when they did the trailer for showing Mega Malamar, I hadn't been on Twitter really, or I hadn't been on social media all too much. It's very vibrant, but I'm gonna get jumped. Was it? Oh, yeah. When Mega Malamar's trailer came out, I hadn't seen anything because I hadn't really been on Twitter or anything like that. That's a shiny Hippowdon. Hello. The sort of disrespect of doing a drive-by on that. That's kind of funny. But I haven't really been on social media too much. Uh, aside from maybe like TikTok. But TikTok, I rarely get anything that's like spoiling me. Uh, unless if it knows like I'm really looking forward to doing something, or if it knows I'm watching something for the first time. Like oh my god. Well, okay, let me finish let me finish the whole Malamar bit story first. But yeah, so I hadn't seen anything in regards to like what was going on before the trailer dropped. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I forget what, so something dropped the same day as Mega Malamar's trailer, and I don't remember what it was or what I was doing. I think I was just streaming and I didn't realize. Um but I fucking that's when I finally go on Twitter and I see all of like the Pokemon Company, Pokemon's Twitter page posting all about how much they love Malamar. And I was so confused. I was like, what the hell is all of this? I only sort of remembered that just now because in TCG Live, I think well, I don't remember when exactly they did, but they as like a gift to everyone, they gave everybody like a deck case, card sleeves, a coin, all that stuff with like Malamar with like Malamar's face, but it was like in a heart. um I also do think that in a way, like if you really want to be fun with it, like if you really want to have fun with it, you could say that, oh, you know, it was like Malamar because Malamar has such a high IQ and it can control like other humans and all that stuff. Um, so that's why there was all that Malamar love going on. I know it's silly, but it's like it's fun to be creative. Um, but yeah. Uh, fuck. What was I gonna? You know, I knew if I started talking on whatever I was gonna um, talk on before, I would have forgotten about the whole Malamar story. But now that I finished the Malamar story, I don't remember what I was going to talk about before. I was like, no, let me finish this first. Uh, I could probably just look at my stream and just go back sometime. Oh. I remember now. Sorry, hold on. Alright, so, um, speaking of TikTok and spoiling me on things that I'm watching or was starting to watch at the time. So, at the time of seeing this TikTok, I had just started watching I don't think I was in Naruto. No, I was in Naruto. So I was in the midst of watching Naruto because, fun fact, have not seen Naruto or didn't watch Naruto prior to 2022. Or 2022. Because that's when I started watching through Naruto. I basically sped through that. And then I was watching through Shippuden when I got my last job before this one. Anyway, I'd met Jiraiya, and you probably can already tell where this is going. But I met Jiraiya. I love Jiraiya. And whatever. Later on, it might have been like the next night or something like that. There was this TikTok that I saw. And it was of this, I don't remember if it was just like a boba shop or if it was like boba and ramen or regardless, I remember boba. You're not a shiny. You're a liar. Anyway, so, and it was like an anime inspired like boba shop at the very least, right? The TikTok that they decided to show was of all these different characters who ended up dying in the anime, in their respective animes, right? So I didn't think anything of it at first, because I think Jiraiya was like the first one that they showed. And like with that one, so the tops, the covers of the boba teas, they were of different anime characters. So I didn't think anything of it at first, but the guy, the person, took a whole bunch of straws and basically jammed it through that one. I was like, okay, that's a little weird. And then they showed off a couple other anime characters who I don't remember, but I know that they got a straw stuck through them. And then what finally made it click in my head was they did one where the cover, the top cover was Rengoku from Demon Slayer. And as soon as they did that, I was like, I just had a fucking boba shop spoil something for me. And I shit you not, I was so mad. I was so mad, and I even told I told my girlfriend about it the next day, I told my girlfriend about it the next day, and she was laughing. She was like, I can't believe that happened to you. And I was like, I can't believe that either, and I'm so mad that it did. I would have rather just been spoiled, like have that scene from the anime be shown to me. That way, either one, I could just sit there and accept it, or two, I could just quickly scroll by without really seeing anything. But the fact that I had a boba shop fucking spoil that shit for me was so. And I wish I remembered the name of the boba shop, because I've seen the scene now. I haven't finished Shippuden, but I have seen at least the scene of Jiraiya. I'm still mad. I'm still mad, but I at least watched the scene. I still got very emotional for it. Despite having been spoiled. But yeah, I don't. I, if I can never figure out what boba shop that was, oh, count your days, buddy. Kidding, of course. But it's it's always a funny thing to it's always a funny and also unfortunate thing to be spoiled in such a subtle way. And I'm sure had I not seen Demon Slayer and had I not seen the fucking Mugen Train movie, I would not have known, and that would have just completely slipped my mind. Like that would have completely just passed me by, and I would never have thought anything of it ever again. Um, speaking of speaking of being emotional and whatnot, I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but over the last couple of months, I went I went to the theaters and I saw so last month. Well, I guess technically September, because we are in November now, and I kind of forget that. But in September, I went and saw the Infinity Castle Part 1 movie. And my god, um, Ufotable Ufotable does such a good job with their movies, with their shows. It's like anything that Ufotable manages to touch is like it's so good. Um, and seeing Infinity Castle Part 1, like I was just like I was like, "Oh, yeah, this is happening," because at this point I've already read through the manga and I already knew what happened. Like I already know what happens. So it was like um so it was like I uh I knew what happened, but I think that's the sort of thing that I like now is like I like reading through the manga of whatever is getting animated and just seeing how these animation studios manage to bring it to life, right? Like I thought Ufotable did such a good job with the first part of the Infinity Castle. I'm kind of excited to see what part two. Well, I'm both excited and not excited to uh see part two because of what I know, right? I mean, I guess that's similar, and what the second part of this is last week, like a week and a half ago, something like that. I went and saw uh, I went and saw the Chainsaw Man movie, the Reze arc, and again, it's just one of those things where it's like I feel like Mappa and Ufotable just managed to do such a good job with whatever it is that they have. Um, well, Mappa, I can say almost everything because I still I didn't really enjoy the final season of Attack on Titan. Um, and that was just from the first part. So I there were several things I didn't like about Attack on Titan. Um, from the first part of the final season being kind of what I felt was lifeless. Um, to I think the second part kind of came back a little bit, and then the third and fourth and however many other parts after that, like they kind of managed to come back from that. Um, but the other issue that I had with it the was the fact that they kind of broke it up in the way that they did. Like, if you asked me, easily could have broken it up into maybe two parts, right? You could have had the first part, and then the second part being, um, the second part being everything that happens plus everything from the third and fourth. I'm pretty sure there was only four parts to it, but I could be wrong. Um, like you could have had everything that was already in the second part of the final season, plus everything that happens in the third and fourth, because it's like, I don't know. I felt like they didn't need to break it up like that, and also kind of have everybody wait for however many years before finally being like, okay, yeah, now we're done with this. um so I didn't like the way that Mappa did Attack on Titan. um but I mean, aside from that, like the only other ones I really know that Mappa did were Chainsaw Man, fucking Jujutsu Kaisen. I love the way that they are animating Jujutsu Kaisen. Like I didn't jump on that. I didn't jump on Jujutsu Kaisen until 2021. I'm pretty sure it was. Um and then because I was a little skeptical at first because I saw that it was Mappa that was doing it. But then I think I just had some free time. I had off of work, so I was just like, yeah, sure. Let me just start watching this and see how I feel about it. And it turned out to be a blast. And and then what was it? I got my girlfriend to start watching it. I forget what it was exactly that got her to start watching it, but she started watching it. And then this will be the last. Oh shit, it's 128. I said 125. It's okay. We'll do one more lap around, or we'll cycle through the night, the day, and then we'll call it there. Lord of War, Alakazam. But yeah, I forget what made her decide to start watching it. But she started watching it. Then we watched through Hidden Inventory. We started the Shibuya arc, and like part of the way through the Shibuya arc, we were like, all right, let's read the manga, right? And then we read the manga, and if you're a manga reader, you know. You know. But we started reading before shit started going down. So we were reading all the shit going down, and then we were seeing it animated. And then we just kind of kept going through and reading. Like we finished the manga. And we kind of had like me and my girlfriend have kind of different opinions as to how we felt about the manga. Um, for the most part, I enjoyed it, but it was like once we started getting towards the end of the manga, it was this sort of like it was a sort of I guess I could call it like a cookie cutter type situation that was happening. Where it'd be like, oh, this is happening. Oh, now this is happening. Oh, now this is happening, and then it would be like next chapter, same thing, but switch whatever characters around, right? Um, and then, but yeah, I mean, overall, it was good. Um, but that's besides the point. Um, but yeah, we went and saw the Reze movie, and oh my god, dude, I fucking I don't remember feeling all too much about what had happened during that arc, like when I was reading through the manga. But I think like sitting there and having other elements going into it, like just like small little things, and for me it was like the music composition, um, on top of like the scenes that were happening, like it really gave it a lot more depth for me and made it feel more impactful. Like I remember I remember just kind of sitting through that movie and I was like, damn. And what was it? It was the same thing with Demon Slayer too. With the Infinity Castle movie, cuz that like reading through the manga, I didn't feel all too much. And I don't want to say anything because I don't want to spoil it for anybody who didn't get the chance to go and see I guess really either of the movies. Um but it was just like they I'm pretty sure they expanded on this thing in the manga that happened. And I'm talking about Demon Slayer. And they just gave it so much more depth with, you know, like filling in parts where I think they kind of like rushed through. Um, like as well as like again music composition and all that stuff. Like I remember watching what had happened, and I was like, damn, I'm really about to cry at this right now. Like this is bad. But um yeah, I mean both of those movies are good. Um I am excited and also not looking forward to them continuing, I guess, both Demon Slayer and Chainsaw Man with animating, because I know what happens and it hurts. It really hurts. Um, and yeah. Uh, I know I said I'd do like one more cycle around and that would be it, and then I did like 12 more cycles. Um, so let me just do this. Finish up with this, and then we will we will call stream there. Because technically I was supposed to end at 1:30 and we went 5 minutes over. I mean it's okay. I just need like an hour to rest and like get my thoughts together and get ready for work and whatnot. But where is my camera? This. So that's gonna be it for this stream. I just want to make mention of a few things first before I do end. First thing, I just want to say thank you to everybody and to anybody and everybody who came out to watch the stream. Whether it was for a little bit or for the full thing, I really do appreciate it and hope you guys do come back around for future streams. Second, regardless of where you are watching this from, if you do enjoy the stream, consider giving a follow, subscribe wherever you might be watching this from. I'm trying to make it a goal to reach 100 like subscribers / followers across the board by the end of the year, and I think that's something that is easily obtainable and would be pretty cool to celebrate. But yeah, if you do enjoy this and you want to come back around, consider giving a follow, subscribe, anything like that, and I will be very happy. Third thing, I made mention of this on Wednesday last week, but because of me getting a new job and whatnot coming around, I figured I would change up my stream schedule just a little bit, just to help with balancing out work, this, and also like personal health. So the stream schedule now is, instead of going Monday to Friday, the new stream schedule now is Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. That will be the new stream schedules, and as we go along and things start to change and I have to change up the stream schedules, I'll be sure to let you all know about those changes as well. Which will lead me to my fourth and I think the final thing that I have to mention. So the plan for this week is today stream, tomorrow obviously no stream. Wednesday will be the last day of this week that I will be streaming, because me and a group of people are going away for like half a week, a little over half a week. So I will be gone from basically Thursday up until about Monday night, maybe even early Tuesday morning. So I won't be streaming Friday this week or Monday next week, and I'll be sure to mention this again on Wednesday when I'm streaming again. But Wednesday the following week, we will be back and we will be streaming again. I'm sure I'll probably have some stories to talk about, some stories that I'm able to talk about, rather. But yeah. So with all that being said, again, thank you to everybody for coming out, regardless of the duration of time. I am Freak of Sound, and I will see you guys on Wednesday. Stay safe, drink plenty of water, and most importantly, just make sure you take care of yourself.